Cheers all, happy days, eh? Another decent performance, another good game. Before I start, I've had a few comments over the past few videos I've done. I'm sure most of them are taking the mickey but about my moustache. I thought I'd put the effort in today, so I've put a bit of wax in, just for you guys, keep you happy, you know. I'm only playing. So I'm going to rattle through my post-match analysis as I always do. As you know, we played a great game. Important 3 points against the already promoted Cheltenham, who's still sit at the top spot. And it nearly sealed the deal for us to be guaranteed a playoff spot. However, a 96th minute Exeter goal meant that this is going to go down to the final day, which we've done in the past against the last game of the day, last game of the league. Was it 2 seasons ago against Morecambe, 87th minute jammer equaliser, and then funnily enough it was Exeter who, after our game finished, we were waiting on Exeter's 6 minutes of added time. I remember me and my brother were there. 6 minutes of added time, and we were just sitting there waiting until the guys on the tannoy, and you had Michael Flynn on his phone, and all the guys were pacing, and as soon as we found out Exeter didn't manage to score in the 6 added minutes, all the sheet masks came out and we went mental, didn't we? It was one of the best days I've had, to be fair. So it's going down to the wire again, and we're Newport County, we fight to the end, but we never do things the easy way, do we? It's all good fun, isn't it? It's not easy being a Newport fan, but it is bloody good fun. Anyway, I'm going to start rattling through this because I've written quite a lot down. As always, we started 6th, and of course Cheltenham were first. Exact same 11 as the previous game, which is good, because if it's not broken, don't try and fix it. It's working really well, and I'm really happy with the way Podge and young Lewis Collins are playing together. Usually we go for a little and large, like a Jammer and a Podge, or Nicky Maynard and maybe Dom perhaps, a smaller, pacier guy, and then the header on usually, which is the taller guy, Ryan Taylor, for example. But they work so well together, Lewis Collins and Podge. They just know what each other is going to do, and they all get in the right positions, and it's exciting. Hopefully, if they're still around next season, the pair of them, we can watch them flourish in League One. So next thing I said, pitch looks really good, so no excuses there from either teams. The pitch did look really good. So that's decent. It was a really fast start to the game, more so from us, I think. But both teams are absolutely gunning for it. It made for quite an exciting opening few minutes. Just a little note, the last time we played Cheltenham was when Tom King obviously scored his record, his world record goal. And as I was writing that, in the 4th minute, thinking I had loads of time before anything exciting happened, a screamer from Captain Fantastic himself, Joss, with his right foot from outside of the box. 4th minute, screamer, beautiful. Keeper had no chance. 6th minute then, Tom King was miles out of position, and Shepherd clears the ball off the line. Before I start slating Tom King, which I'm not going to do, before people accuse me of slating Tom King, a couple of times this game he was out of position or off his line or feet planted. It happened a few times, maybe 3 times, well, twice definitely, where he was absolutely saved by our defenders. Otherwise the game would have gone completely different. However, I will counteract that comment by saying I am Team Tom King. It's great that we've got two fantastic keepers that do bring out the best in each other with the competition and stuff, but I do think Tom King still makes it for me. So before I get shit for saying this sort of stuff, just thought I'd put that out there. And then Bolton went ahead against Exeter, which obviously bodes well for us indeed, but obviously we know that didn't turn out so well. Mickey Dimitri very nearly scored a header. It was like a backwards header. I think it was a long throw, and he headed backwards towards the goal, and the keeper did save it very well. He wouldn't have been expecting it because obviously facing away from the goal and all that sort of stuff. That was about the 20th minute. Podge has had a great chance here over the bar on the 24th. It was his left foot, and it did. Yeah, I think he leant back a bit, and it just went over the bar, but it was very close. 30th minute. What a great game to watch. We look really hungry for this. I've written the pressure we're applying is fantastic. In the first half, especially, we played some brilliant football, really press and aggressive football. It was good to watch. 43rd minute, Podge and Collins working well. and Collins just scuffed a shot, which is probably the lack of experience, which in seasons coming, if we keep him, which I'm sure we will. He's only a youngster, isn't he? These sorts of things will start falling into place, I think. Half time, relatively quiet, pretty comfortable, I thought, at this point. We had 5 shots on target. I checked on my app at half time. To their 1, which, you know, although it doesn't really matter, you can have 100 shots on target, but if they have 1 and it goes in, irrelevant really. But just to put things into perspective of how dominating we were. Half time, kick off. Cheltenham made a sub at half time, very, very quickly after that half, actually, Cheltenham started getting a bit frustrated. I think they were a bit annoyed, obviously, because, they've won the league, not won the league, sorry, they're promoted already, and maybe they are going for the win. I don't know if anyone can catch them. I haven't looked into it, to be fair. I just concentrate on our little important bit. But yeah, they were getting pretty frustrated, and Ben Tozer pushed, obviously, ex-Newport, and he's obviously their captain now. He pushed Podge over, and he got a yellow for that. I think somebody else got a card too, so there's 2 cards dished out. I can't remember who it was, though. I'm recording this the day after. I usually do it, but kids, you know, but I'm a busy man. Leave me alone. Yeah, anyway, Tom King, feet planted. Aaron Lewis clears off the line. So that's the second time it happened. And there's nothing wrong with relying on your defenders, as long as the ball doesn't go in. But I'm just writing down what I see. You know, Tom King's feet were absolutely planted, and it would have gone in if Aaron Lewis wasn't there. Cheltenham then made 3 attacking subs, all pretty close together, and they were starting to pepper our box. Sounds rude. They were starting to pepper our box, and the defenders were absolutely earning their pay. Fair play to them. They were all pretty fantastic. 72nd minute, couple of subs are needed, I think. I assumed Nicky Maynard was probably going to come on, because Lewis Collins was kept, you know, he was injured. He hit the floor a couple of times, and he did look really uncomfortable. So hopefully he'll be all right for the next game. And I would assume Matty Dillon will make an appearance too. But at this point, I wouldn't have liked to have taken anyone off, because we, against a very good Cheltenham team, were playing very, very well. Yeah, ref was a bit dodgy at times, but again, League 2, I won't dwell on that too much. Yeah, he made a couple of good calls, and like there were people diving and he wasn't giving it. So there were points where I was like, oh, this ref's pretty decent, but then very quickly there were things blatantly obvious going on that he wasn't giving. I've written here now, we really need a second here. Cheltenham's attack nearly looked as good as our defence. That was in the 82nd minute. But our defence were just absolutely on fire, so fair play to the boys. First sub. Collins off for Nicky Maynard. That was the 80th minute. 88th minute. Tozer should have been sent off for a challenge. Yeah, Ben Tozer should have been sent off for a challenge on Nicky Maynard. Someone dinked the ball over for Nicky, and he was running on, and Ben Tozer made no attempt to go for the ball and dragged Nicky Maynard to the floor. My cat's chasing a spider that's coming to my feet. Go that way. Go away. Thank you. Apologies. So, yeah, that there, he got a yellow for. So I might be mistaken. I've only just realised saying that he got a yellow earlier on for pushing Podge over. Or have I completely missed something? Someone will rip me in the comments anyway, so I look forward to that. Here comes the genius time wasting by Newport County that would frustrate the hell out of us if it was against us. But it wasn't, so I won't moan about it. It's all part of the game, isn't it? And although it's not the best thing in the world to see, if it means the difference between us promoting and not, any team would do it against us too. But this was in the 89th minute, and there wasn't too much of it leading up to then anyway. 6 minutes of added time. Not enjoyable, is it, when you've a couple of siders deep as I was. Spiders do my head in. A couple of siders deep as I was. Really enjoyed the game, and early goal. And early goals are always dangerous, aren't they? Because my dad always used to say that, we've scored too early. You're like, what? That doesn't make any sense. But it absolutely does. It's horrible to defend a 1-0 lead for 86 minutes as we did. Nervous here. As I just explained. The Cheltenham keeper was in our box at a couple of points when they were attacking, which is, good to see. Keepers do that. Maybe he wanted to score against Tom because Tom scored against him. But then you also get excited on the counter-attack, don't you, when the keeper's nowhere to be seen. But nothing came of it. All over, 1-0. We move up to 5th. And for a little bit, it was guaranteed a playoff spot no matter what happens in the last game. But as I said, 96th minute. Well, actually, against Bolton, Exeter, I think they scored in the 89th and then the 96th to win it. So that's depressing for Bolton fans. But there we go. Man of the match, Labs. For the goal, yeah, but he also controlled the game quite well. And he was just doing what Labs does. He's a fantastic captain, isn't he? People do slate him a little bit for some silly challenges and stuff, but it's just old school style of football, isn't it? Bang a challenger and letting them know that you're not there to be messed around with, but it is always him. He's the enforcer of Newport County, isn't he? Let's be honest. Now that David Pipe's no longer with us, with the club, he's still alive, don't worry. So Labs gets Phil's man of the match, and I tip my hat once again to Michael Flynn. We all slate him when he does terribly, but I think it goes unnoticed when he does fantastically. We all cheer about the players, but Michael Flynn controlled that game fantastically, and he's finally, a bit late, finally found the starting 11 that I think we need to stick with. And with one game left, obviously, we're going to Southend, who are already relegated, so although it's not nice for clubs to get relegated, someone's got to do it. Let's hope they're all miserable and we absolutely pump them 5-0. Because, yeah, like I said, this is going down to the wire. That's me done. The next game, we ain't got a game on Tuesday, going straight on a Saturday now. That's the last game of the season. Hopefully then we will go to the playoffs and all that sort of stuff. I'm absolutely praying. Sorry, get really bad heartburn from Strongbow. Here's hoping we can all meet at Wembley, whether there's a couple of thousand of us allowed to go or whatever, because obviously we're gonna get promoted through the playoffs, aren't we? Let's be honest. No messing. Boys and girls, thanks for listening to 12 minutes and 5 seconds of me chatting absolute tripe. I'll see you again for the final time on Saturday. Final time in the normal league. I nearly tripped up there. Be good. See you later. Ciao.